Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, this is HD, and welcome back to Game 4, Episode 4 of From Paris with Creep, starring, of course, Stefano. He's going to be the Blue Zerg at the top right-hand corner, and his opponent is going to be Showtime, and we'll see if Showtime can make a stand here against Stefano or not. Stefano currently on a rampage, on a tear through this season, currently 3-0. And we'll see here. I'm bringing you guys these replays, of course, from a replay pack. If you guys enjoy what you see here from my StarCraft 2 cast, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys can find more StarCraft 2 games there, and I do randomly from time to time some different stuff as well. If you guys enjoy what you guys like, what you guys hear, and what you guys see. And we'll see what happens here in Episode 4 of From Paris with Creep. Stefano will be playing another Protoss player. Protoss stepping up to the bat here. And can he take him out or not? There's a probe making its way across the field already. Quick early scout from Showtime, and it's going to make its way into the main here. I do apologize, guys. I'm kind of casting these in a marathon. I've been actually out the last couple of days, so I wasn't able to cast over the weekend, and it's currently Wednesday now. And I'm kind of casting all these games in succession, and I had a really bad headache yesterday, so I don't know, for whatever reason, if my throat or my head are connected in some way, but I do have a bit of a hoarse mouth, sore throat right now. And so you guys might hear it in this cast or not, I'm not too sure, but I do apologize ahead of time. And I do have about 1,500 milligrams of Tylenol in my body. Should not say that because that's actually over the advised medical dosage, but for an adult. But hopefully I live, and we'll see what happens here. Showtime here, wandering around with the probe at the natural, and Stefano should be able to get that probe. Whoa, that was kind of quick from that probe. Sent the pylon down immediately, rejected, and so that was good timing right there by Showtime. Stefano will not be able to get the natural now, but we've seen Zergs counter this time and again with the quick spawning pull, and that is what Stefano is doing right now. Spawning pull is down, and we see two pairs of Zerglings on the way. And that probe coming back in for a bit of a jab here on the drone. And it looks like, yeah, if he's really paying attention, he should be able to go up to the top. Showtime's already on top of it. And it's Showtime, baby! One more pylon for Stefano. Give it to him. From Showtime with love, a pylon. And it looks like he's kind of playing the little merry-go-round right now. Doesn't want to invest, or perhaps he doesn't have enough. He's just kind of barely teetering on 100 minerals. Rather investing the resources into his own front door. The pylon at the natural did just go down as well. And another drone being sent out to make that hatchery. Pylon being used to block the third now. Gutsy by Showtime. You don't do that against Stefano, man. You do not pylon block Stefano. Stefano will eat you alive for such treason. So we'll see what happens here. He's the Protoss killer. Once again, as I said before, 70% win rate overall versus Protoss. That's pretty much unstoppable. And Showtime now mining quite a bit of gas out of both bases. 3 harvesters on each. We might see a quick starport here following the cybernetics core. We might also see robotics facility, gateways, mass sentries. A lot of options here for Protoss to play with. There is only a probe blocking the front door here, but eventually should be blocked off by a zealot, should be substituted by a zealot once the zealot comes out of the gateway. But he's not making a zealot to start things off with. That's actually kind of intriguing. Usually Protoss will make a zealot out of the, with their first cycle with their gateway. He's actually going to go right for the stalker instead. So with the Stalker coming out here, this is really nice because Stefano has Zerglings at the front. He's going to scout the initial unit, and a lot of times you can kind of deduce what playstyle your opponent will employ based off of that first gateway unit. If it's a Stalker, they might be going Mass Blink Stalker. If it's a Sentry, they might be playing more conservative, building up that Sentry energy. And it looks like the Stalker is going to make its way out right now, with +1 weapons coming pretty soon. The nice thing for the Stalker is it can clear out the open field and push these Zerglings away, unlike the Zealot. The Zealot can be kited around for a while. And it looks like the Zerglings now will be pushed away, and Showtime will claim the Zelnaga Tower outside of his base, but still has not revealed his tech yet, adding on the second and third gateway. But he's accumulated 300 gas already. 4th gateway here. Will he add a 5th gateway? Or will it be a robotics facility? 330 gas now. quite a bit of SP from Showtime. Now sending in this Stalker that has 1 kill already. Can it add on a 2nd kill under its belt? One thing Showtime's really going to have to worry about here is that max Roach strategy from Stefano. We all know how crazy it can be. Stefano actually doesn't have the Roach Warren coming up yet, or the Evolution Chamber. That's actually a mistiming on his part. Well, based off of what I've seen him do in prior games, usually he gets them before the layer starts, or right as the layer starts. So his Roaches and his upgrades might be a little bit delayed this game. Pylon being used to go up to the top left. Showtime, is he going to try to claim the Nexus here? That is so crazy. I don't think he will. I think he'll opt to go for the Nexus at the much safer pocket. But we'll see. He's actually warping in a lot of units here. Might be just using that Pylon for offensive purposes. And how many gateways is he playing with? 4 gates, Twilight, Dark Templar. That's why he had so much gas saved up. Now at 400 gas, he's going to go for DTs here. And still have not seen a Protoss or a Terran or any player, for that matter, play a straight-up game with Stefano. They just try to do the gimmicky things to take him down, but I haven't seen Stefano drop yet. It's always a sign of a player being really good. The Stalker did fall. Stefano takes out the Stalker first. Nice play. Now he's only got to deal with the Zealots, but that's a lot of Zealots with +1 weapons, and Showtime's going to kill off the hatchery. The 3rd hatchery has fallen. Stefano was not prepared for that, and I think Showtime here is going to take that hatchery down. He's going to kill more Zerglings. I'm surprised he's choosing not to fall back here. Going to lose all of his Zealots. I think he could have fallen back, although, no, those Zerglings had movement speed, so never mind. Interesting. You know what? I thought for sure that Showtime was going to be able to fall back there, but because of Zergling speed, he wasn't able to. And now, all of a sudden, you know, 8 Zealots or so and that Stalker to kill off that hatchery. It's a loss for the Zerg, but it's not that bad. I think Stefano kind of recovered from that because he killed off so many Zealots. And now he's going to kill off that pylon at the top left, but what he's got to really worry about is that Dark Templar. In fact, 2 Dark Templar making their way out onto the field right now at the front door. 2 DTs have warped out. And it is showtime. It's showtime for these DTs. Make or break. And I was trying to get at this point earlier, it's always a sign that a player is that damn good when players always try to play gimmicky styles against him, when they don't play straight up because they know they can't beat him straight up. So these DTs, a little bit gimmicky. Will they be able to seal the deal here? If they can beat this hatchery down, slice and dice, and maybe kill off a couple drones, that'd be nice. The DTs are taking their sweet time, though. Checking for a ninja hatchery at the bottom right, which was not there. Now making their way over to the side at the 3 o'clock. And they will find a hatchery there. Drones are going to begin to get assassinated immediately. Stefano pulls away with the drones. He makes an Overseer as well. Will the Overseer be in time, however, to save this hatchery? That's the question we're waiting to see answered. Overlord here is not being the Overseer, so I don't know where the Overseer is. It's actually quite far away over at the natural, and the hatchery is going to fall. So Showtime's been doing a pretty damn good job of limiting the amount of bases that Stefano has, and anytime you can do that, that's good. That's good to do that and keep the bases down to a minimum. Stefano finally re-grabs the 3rd. But he's only on 3 bases, and Showtime is getting his own 3rd up as well. It's going to allow Showtime this opportunity to get back in this game, and I think these DTs, by killing off that hatchery, have kind of paid off for themselves. And now Showtime should make that transition into a more standard, army. And we do see that coming right now. Robotics facility, more gateways coming out. Forge researching plus 3 weapons here. And once again, we're seeing this all throughout Protoss versus Zerg. Quick weapons upgrades, getting to plus 3 as quickly as you possibly can. It gives you such a distinct advantage against Zergs who do not keep up in upgrades. But Stefano is getting his 2-2 right now. And he's got Infestors coming out as well, grabbing a 4th and a 5th base. Man, Stefano, if he's left untouched, this is what you have to worry about. He just kind of runs wild with the game. And we're going to see the double spire again. We will signature Stefano. Showtime here, getting very comfortable, but he can't get too comfortable. He did kill off 2 bases, yes, but you can never get complacent against a player of Stefano's caliber. Creep beginning to spread out across the map as well, staying true to the name of this series, From Paris with Creep. We can see them making their way to the southwest. And Spine Crawler is being rooted down at the 3rd location. Now, the double Spire here is pretty interesting because Stefano is probably going to go right away into the mass air style, Corruptors and Brood Lords, and his late game composition typically being Brood Lord Infestor. We saw TLO use it to great effect in the Game of Drone series, in the last series I casted. And we'll see if Showtime... Ah, nice blink right there, revealing his blink technology, and he gives chase to those Stalkers. We'll see if Showtime gets the much-needed Mothership out to combat the Brute Lords. That is what you need to go for. His +3 weapons is about to finish. He's actually timing an attack here with +3 weapons, forces the cancel on the Extractors. So it looks like Stefano will leave that hatchery. He's going to leave it for dead. And I agree with that decision. Stefano has not yet realized his Hive technology, nor his 2-2. And this hatchery will fall so quickly, there's no point in defending it. Egg even falls as well. Showtime giving a quick lesson on abortion. And it looks like Stefano now grouping his forces over to his newest hatchery at the inside 12 o'clock location. There's a Warp Prism also making its way through the top left. Stefano giving this time to Stefano is allowing him to catch up to upgrades though. I really think that Showtime needs to be wary. He needs to either grab another base here, maybe make another attack, and he cannot get too complacent. I do like his attack though at the 3 o'clock location. Now, what is he going to do from here on out? Will he just sit idly by, allowing Stefano to max? That might not be the best decision. We can see Showtime now deploying a Warp Prism. And this allows Protoss to bring out forces, but Stefano is already there with his double Infestors. That Warp Prism will drop due to the combination of Fungal and Infested Terrans. Nicely done. Good anticipation by Stefano. The main star of this series so far doing very well. We have Colossus beginning to make their way on the field though, and this is the most deadly, one of the deadliest units from the Protoss arsenal you can possibly call upon. The Colossus is on the way. Extended Thermal Lance being chrono boosted. In fact, all the Robotech is being chrono boosted right now. And we also have a Stargate coming down, so Fleet Beacon is not out of the question either. And things are about to get pretty interesting here. Showtime planning to take this into the ultra late game. He's got a 4th base coming up as well. Stefano playing very conservatively, not making any moves at all. And in the late game, this is what you need to do. You need to make a wall of crawl with your Spines and Spores in order to help kind of balance out the fact that Zerg, when they're maxed out, are not as potent as Protoss when they're maxed out. So I like what Stefano's doing here. Now he's beginning to add Brute Lords as well. Couple of Zerglings going to the bottom right. Thermal Lance is about to finish up as well. 2 Colossus already on the field, but I do fear for Showtime a little bit. Oh, there's some Zerglings running over here. Photon Cannons, they're not up in time, but Stalker's immediately blinking in position. Now, I was going to say, I do fear for Showtime. I feel like his gas is a little bit stretched too thin. He's only got 6 geysers. He needs to immediately claim the 7th and 8th. Otherwise, he can't hope to get Mothership and Colossus and all of that tech, all of that heavy gas units fielded onto this map. It's just not possible. So he needs to get his gas going right now. Some Zerglings making their way over to the 3rd. Just scouting Zerglings though. Nothing that Showtime has to fear about too much. One scouting Stalker will be sacrificed for the good of the Protoss. And now a Void Ray being revealed on the right side. And if Showtime can shut down this hatchery again from Stefano, that's a big play. He's also going to the top left. Gonna try to divert Stefano's forces. Stefano's gonna fall for the bait. Stefano's gonna fall for the bait, and he's going to go down to the bottom right. And he's gonna lose the top left hatchery as a result. It actually might not have been bait though. Stefano might have made that decision on purpose. He might have thought, you know what, I don't want to combat this army head on. I'd rather just save the bottom right hatchery and sacrifice the top left-hand hatchery. But now he's in a position where what is he going to do? He's actually going to go for an attack here at the 3rd Nexus while Showtime attacks the Pocket 11 o'clock expansion. And we have a full-on base race on our hands. Mothership, do note, is on the way as well. Stefano quickly and rapidly reproducing Zerglings en masse. 26 Zerglings coming out right now. Is Adrenal Glands finished? No, it hasn't not even begun. And Showtime takes out 2 hatcheries for the price of 1. No, he loses the Nexus. Yes, he loses the Nexus. So 2 hatcheries for the price of 1 Nexus. A decent trade for Showtime. And now he might be forced to engage. Force Field's coming out at the same time. Those Corruptors do not have backup. The Stalkers can pick them all off, but not before the Corruptors kill off the last Colossus. There was just not enough Colossus on the field. And now Fungal Growth going to work. Does Showtime have enough to break this location? Does he have a backup pylon? He does. To warp in reinforcements, but he's trying to retreat. And on the way out, he gets fungled. And all of his immortals are going to drop. Oh, that's a big loss for Showtime. He just lost all of his immortals in the retreat. Almost all of his immortals. And that could not have gone any worse for Showtime. And the problem there was that he just did not have enough anti-air to fight that location. Because of the Brood Lords raining down those Broodlings, he had to retreat, and on the way out, the Infestors were just saying, you know, happy vomiting and fungling the units on the way out, and that was such a bad position for Showtime. Can he recuperate here? He's gonna try to kill off this hatchery and finish it off. He will, before all the Overseer comes in, but not in time. And it looks like the hatchery will fall. So once again, Showtime doing a good job of harassing. And once again, trying to come in through the third hatchery, but it will get caught here with so many Infestors. Good lord. That is 12 Infestors on the field currently. That's quite a bit. And surprisingly, the supply is pretty even right now. In fact, dead even at the moment. They're 154 to 154. And let's not forget the Mothership is here. The Mothership has arrived. The almighty unit that makes my computer almost lag and crash, burn and die. We'll see what Showtime can do with this awesome weaponry of war. And the Mothership, does it have enough energy saved up? It will have enough for one Vortex if a battle occurs in the next few seconds. Stefano should be wary of the fact that Motherships are on the field now, or Mothership is on the field. It's pretty typical Protoss response to get Motherships. And he's actually not spending that much right now. He's banking some resources, not maxing out his army. Surprisingly, there we go, 5 Corruptors coming out right now. But it looks like we have massive movements of troops. Looking on the mini-map, everything diverting to the bottom right here. Stefano knows it. He's got to build spine crawlers right now, trying to get them all around the hatchery to protect, and all of his Infestors! Oh my goodness, he just lost half of his Infestors. He did get a couple of decent fungals off, but my god, that went so terribly for Stefano. And now he's got to fall back. He doesn't have backup for these Broodlords. He just has to rely on the raw numbers of Broodlords. The Mothership trying to get a Vortex off. But Showtime decides to retreat rather than engage. I actually think that was Showtime's time to shine. That was his Showtime. He actually should have went in there and Vortex the Broodlords. But he decided to fall back. Now, these Infestors do not have Neuroparasite research. That is a big development, because now you cannot mind control the Mothership. And it looks like some Zealots have made their way over to the hatchery again. Quick transfuses from Stefano, trying to keep it alive. And the Queen, serving as a medic to the hatchery, will keep it alive. Meanwhile, big attack here by Showtime. He goes in with everything. Stalkers get fungled, though, and the Vortex pretty much whiffs. Doesn't hit that many Broodlords, only hit about 2. Now Showtime has to retreat. He can pick off these Corruptors, though they're too far extended, but the Corruptors kill off the Mothership. You know what? I don't know about that attack. Stefano, I think, kind of came out better in that engagement. He killed off the Mothership. The Vortex pretty much whiffed, and now Stefano has an opportunity to counter. Good placement of the Dark Templar, though. Wow, that was really smart by Showtime. Good awareness. Now the Zerglings are going to make their way over to the pocket. Can they kill off any probes? Probe count currently killed. 21 and 17 in favor of the Protoss. 58 and 60 in favor of Stefano. And now the Broodlords taking position on the high ground on Cloud Kingdom. They can begin to rain their chaos down below. Fungal Growth will keep the probes in place. And Showtime in a lot of trouble here. He's got to make his move. He's going to lose this Nexus. He is not mobilizing his armor yet. There we go. He blinks forward. He's going to go for the hatchery, but there's so many crawlers there. And that is why in the late game you get this many crawlers. They act as a deterrent to counterattacks from the Protoss. You know, every Protoss is going to think twice about sending their troops straight into these crawlers. They give you a sense of security. So Stefano is going to be able to take out this Nexus now, and has pretty much put Showtime down to 3 bases. He's on 5. Stefano is, and I think Stefano's looking pretty good here. Showtime's got to make something happen. He's got his Colossus and Stalkers in position to take out this hatchery once again, utilizing the high ground on Cloud Kingdom. This is what makes this map notorious for these pocket expansions, because armies can hit from the high ground and strike it down, and it looks like thinking about finishing off this hatchery, but there's an army of infestors coming in to save their home. And is it enough? Does Stefano have enough here? I think he does. Those infestors scaring Showtime. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Can he get his Archons out of the way? No! He's going to keep the Archons there. He's going to take out a bunch of infestors. Big plays by Showtime, trying to gamble there and hoping that Stefano would not be paying attention. And that actually played out pretty well for him. He can pick off the rest of these infestors. Nice job. The infestor count now having been lowered to only 8. Originally, I think it was at 15 or so. But Showtime really losing a lot of probes, only at 40 under 72. And Stefano has so many Brute Lords. Is that mothership out? The mothership is coming, but it's so far away. The replacement mothership is just blundering its way over here. And meanwhile, all of her babies are dying. All of her units are dying right now. And Showtime trying to retreat. Lost a Colossus amidst the chaos. And the mothership does not yet have enough energy for a vortex. This could be bad news. Stefano coming in here. And the infestor, oh, it could be a chain fungal to keep the mothership down. And immediately Showtime rushes the stalkers to the mothership's aid. And this is a big battle. That mothership has enough energy now. And at 100 energy, it can vortex. Will Showtime do it or not? He's so close to dying. There goes the vortex. And immediately Stefano runs away from the vortex. Very smart. Doesn't want to lose his units. All the Protoss units going inside. Showtime might be thinking there's more Brood Lords and Infestors in there, but there really isn't. And Stefano continuing to rain chaos with these Brood Lords, and finally the rest of his army pops out. He will lose some of his Brood Lords, but it wasn't the entire army, and Stefano just doing such a good job of keeping his units spread apart. And at the end of the day, I think we're going to have a 4-0 for Stefano here in Season 1. He is going to have an unblemished record. I don't know how Showtime's going to hold this off. I don't think he can. 3-1-3 are the upgrades for the Protoss ground, 3-3 for the Zerg air, and 3-3 for the Zerg ground. Stefano is a beast. Beast in it, and GG, David Kim. All right, well, Stefano taking another victory here against Showtime. Showtime actually doing a decent job. I thought he had a chance in this game, a couple of opportunities to win it out, but you know what? Let's go ahead and rewind and look at this replay. I do apologize. I didn't analyze the last game with Zaka, but I didn't really find anything too interesting in that one because it was pretty much Zok trying a very weird 2-factory Hellion build. 2 reactor factory Hellion, and then kind of running into a wall of Roches. That was pretty much all she wrote. But a couple of key points in this game. In fact, let's just go ahead and fast forward to the mothership battles. I think those were the most interesting ones. Oh, one thing I really liked here was the fact that Showtime said, you know what? I'm going to go to the top right, and I think it was right around here. Let's see. This game was actually really long, 30 minutes long game. And we're going, and here we go. So this is when he diverted attention to Stefano, sent a Void Ray and a Warp Prison here. This was really smart. And then sent the rest of his Protoss forces to the top left. And Stefano was in a pickle. He's like, where do I defend? Now, Stefano's decision making here, this is why Stefano is so good, I think, in StarCraft 2. His decision making is uncanny. It is almost always the right decision. Now, he could have, think about it, if he could have went to the top right to save this hatchery. But he's going to lose so much of his army in doing so. And the best case scenario out of that is saving his hatchery, but he's still going to lose this one regardless. Alternatively, he could have went down here and saved this hatchery, still having saved one hatchery, and he doesn't have to face that scenario where he could lose his entire army. So the trade-off there is, not losing his entire army and still saving one hatchery at the very least. So the best case scenario prevailing here is the one where he goes over to the right, and this was perfect. This was really a good decision from him. The only thing, though, that I found was a little bit of an issue was the problem here is if Showtime's already in this position, well, you know what? Another hatchery could go down because it's just adjacent to the top left. But Stefano knew that already. He already had this pre-planned. He knew he could not waste any time. If he's going to lose this hatchery as well, then he's going to go eye for an eye, and he's going to take out the Nexus over here. And that was really the smartest decision he could have made. it was almost like he was a chess player looking at all the various variables in front of him, and he chose the correct one. You know, he was playing 5 steps ahead of his opponent. Now, I see so many Zerg players decide to retreat with their entire army, but they don't make it back in time, and the hatchery will fall anyways. But what Stefano did was just sent his Zerglings and his Infestors in case to take out this Nexus. He didn't commit more forces than necessary, and he began sending his slow Broodlords into position to combat this army should it continue on the warpath to this hatchery. And so that was just really, really intelligent decision-making by Stefano. Now, let's just go ahead and... this battle right here was very, very, very key. I hope you guys enjoyed this too. Let me know what you guys think about the little post-dissection of the game, because I think it allows me to kind of slow down the game and talk a little bit more about it in a way that makes more sense from a battle standpoint, from the decision-making of both players. So let's go ahead and see here. We had the Zerg army going in, and Stefano, you know, thinking, all right, I've got to make a hold here, or I've got to make something happen. This is an open area. This is actually why Stefano engaged. It's an open area on the high ground. He didn't have creep, but he had the high... it's as open as it gets on Cloud Kingdom, you know? So he decided, you know what, I'm going to go in here, and there's only 2 Colossus. I have enough Corruptors to pick it out. And he pretty much sacrificed quite a bit of Corruptors, but anytime you can pull out the Colossus, that's a good decision. Good Fungals as well. And the Fungals, along with the Corruptors killing off the last Colossus, really changed this battle. Because now, without Colossus, all Showtime has is Immortals and Stalkers. And as long as the Infestors and the stay underneath the Broodlords, the Stalkers are not even going to dare to blink underneath this. It's just too risky. So, as the Fungal ate away at the shields of Showtime's forces, it looks like Showtime did blink underneath, but then he realized, oh crap, too many Zerglings, too many Brootlings, and maybe more Fungals coming out. And this is where Showtime said, you know what? I don't have enough anti-air. I have like 1 Stalker for 2 Stalkers maybe for every Broodlord in the skies, and that's just not enough. So he decided to fall back, and this is where Stefano, you know, kind of salivating from the mouth, said, you know what, this is it. From Paris with creep, and he fungled the forces on the retreat. So this started to build momentum for our French American to make all of you guys happy. And let's go ahead and look at the mothership battle. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at just the first one. I think that was the most interesting one. My computer just loves to lag on me. And let's see here. This is where Showtime went in. Tried to take out this hatchery, I think. And I actually think this was an opportunity for him to move forward with the mothership. I think he could have, you know, pushed forward, pushed these Broodlords back. Because look at Stefano. This is actually a really good position for Showtime. There wasn't any forces at all for Stefano, and he was just now making 28 Zerglings. Just those Broodlords, he had plenty anti-air in this position to make an attack, but the Crawlers were the difference maker. That's why in ZVP you always make Spine Crawlers in the late game. Now, this battle, unfortunately, look at the pre-split by Stefano. He sent some Broodlords to the top, some Broodlords to the south, and now any one Vortex is not going to hit his core units. And in fact, based on this position, you know, so Showtime had to be careful with this Vortex. He didn't want to suck away some of his Stalkers. So this Vortex was really the worst one you could deploy, and it ended up costing Showtime big time. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about the dissecting of this battle. There was a lot of things going on, but at the end of the day, Stefano was victorious. Ah, the crumbs of the mothership falling. And now he is currently 4-0 in this series from Paris with Creep. We'll see how he does in the next episode. Episode 5 will be coming at you guys very shortly. I'm doing this in a marathon. I'm doing all the games at once, and I think all the videos will be coming out in a 1 to 2 to 3 day period. So hope you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for episode 5.